Hey there, this is Ed Herzog from Online Growth Tools, and today what I want to do is I want to show you a tool called BirdSeed. Now, you may have already seen a video that I did reviewing BirdSeed, but I'm reshooting the video because there were some issues with the tool when I looked at it about a week or so ago. But the owner, the founder of BirdSeed, Drew, and I apologize if I'm pronouncing his last name incorrectly, Drew Sheehan, saw my video, and the team really stepped up. They went through my video point by point, and they've already updated things to make the user functionality better, because there were some issues in terms of I guess with my screen size. There are things that weren't showing up properly. So now everything works great. I was a bit on the fence about this tool, but now I'm really hyped about this tool. I think this is an amazing tool and has a lot of potential to help you grow your online business. And the way Drew and his team, the way they responded to my comments and the way they really stepped up, impressed me. And so, this is a tool I am very much getting behind. Right now, it is on AppSumo. You can get it for 1 year free. After that, it's $99 a year. So basically $8 a month. I mean, very, very little. And that $99 a year, as I understand it, we'll look at their pricing later, is a substantial discount off their regular prices. Of course, you've got to sign up for the AppSumo year free first, and then after that year, you'll have access to those discounted prices. If you don't sign up for the free year, then you don't get those discounted prices a year from now. So there's a clear advantage. I mean, why not do this, right? I do see some people aren't happy about this. They like AppSumo to have lifetime deals. I personally, to me, that's not a big deal, right? Again, it's $8 a month if you decide you want to continue after the first year. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. You can actually, if you go over to the AppSumo deal page, let me move myself up there a little bit. You can see it right here. This is BirdSeed. This is, it puts this little button on your website. There they've got it set up to be pulsing, which is a nice attention grabber. And then move myself over there. And you can see that, right here, they've got 12 different tools. Now, obviously you wouldn't want to set up all 12 because that would be overwhelming to people. But here, we've got Ask Us About Our AppSumo promotion. So, you've got this nice video here and then a contact form. Frequently asked questions. Again, these questions here, you can click on them and get an answer right away. Here are some videos describing them. Here you can join their private Facebook VIP group. This is one of their tools called a Lync Launcher. You can see it just opens right into the next window. Same thing here, subscribe to our product hunt listing. And you can also go over to their website and see it in action. Here they've got it over here. Move myself back down over that way. Here's another tool, send us a message. So you can, again, it's a contact form. You can see what can we help you with. They've got some options there. Search our knowledge library. So you can put together a knowledge library. They've got most common questions and then different categories again. You can click on these and get answers. And again, nice little video there to explain things as well. And again, we've already seen this one. Subscribe to us on Product Hunt. That's a Lync Launcher, opens another window. And then view their little webinar. They've got a couple of videos. Okay, so that's kind of how it works. So let's go ahead and take a look at how you get this all set up. So let me close that. So you get this little button down here. Sorry, it's unfortunately dubbed. The little dub thing there is hiding it a little bit. But you can customize this button here, right? You can show it or hide it depending on, you may be tweaking it and may want to hide it temporarily. This pulsation, which I think is a really nice feature. I like that. You can turn it on or off. Maybe you don't like it, maybe you don't want it, so you can turn that off. You can change the position right or left. And then you can get rid of the footer branding. And then you've got the, a little introduction message you can put up there. And you can also change the icon, right? I mean, if you want a different icon, this one has that one there, but you've got other options. And then you can also change the color. And one of the things that they did update, because before you didn't see these changes live, but now you can, you save it. And now you get this purple that I picked, right? So that's nice. So before it didn't show up live, but now you can see your changes live. Here you set your hours. So, you've got your time zone. You can do a 12 or 24 hour. You can do on each day of the week, either specific hours, always available, or never available. Now, the one thing that I mentioned that, I think they're thinking about is that these hours go into every single tool. So you can't customize the hours by the different tools. So if you wanted to have live chat available at one point during the day and a different tool at a different time, that's not an option, okay? So you do have to kind of set the same time frame for everything. You can also set up breaks. You are limited to you can do 30 minutes, hour and a half, or 2 hours. I suppose if you wanted to do a break of more than 2 hours, let's say, you're like me, you're a solopreneur, you wanted to say, hey, I'm available from 9 to 12 and then not again until 5 p.m., you could probably do multiple breaks. I know I've looked at the tool. It does give you the option to do more than one break. You're not limited to one break. So that would be an option if you wanted to do a break of more than 2 hours. Here you get the install code. They do have a WordPress plugin if you're using WordPress. And, Drew, if you're watching this video, one thing I'd like some clarification on, I believe that the AppSumo offer, I know it's unlimited visitors. I believe it would be unlimited websites too then, correct? So that, you could put this on any website that accepts JavaScript code. And so, it doesn't have to be a WordPress website. It could be, a webinar. If your webinar landing page accepts JavaScript, you could put it on that. So it's not just WordPress. It's not just a website. It could be other sort of things as long as it accepts JavaScript. Here you can, set your reply to email. Here you can manage event type. So this is one of the tools which we'll look at in a moment, which is the meeting. I originally thought it didn't make sense to have this here, but now I do understand why it's kind of a bit separate. It's because you can have more than one meeting type, right? Now, I do think this tool in particular needs to be a bit more sophisticated. And, I've mentioned that already to Drew that, there are some limitations here. For example, you've got 15, 30, 60, or 120 minutes. I used to like to do, when I ran my life coaching business, I like to do 45-minute meetings. Well, that's not an option here. You've only got 15, 30, 60, or 120. And you can customize this form field. Again, if you want to do some. Oops, why did that do that? If you wanted to do some qualification of people before you did the meeting with them, you've got that there. It does have a confirmation email. It doesn't look like there's a reminder email, which is often important for meetings. It also doesn't look like there's any way, like I always used to say, yeah, you can schedule a meeting with me, but I need like 12 hours or 24 hours advance notice. It doesn't look like that has that feature, which means that somebody could actually schedule a meeting with you immediately. So that to me, again, I think this needs to be a lot more sophisticated. I think it's great because, it makes it very easy for people to schedule meetings with you. But I do hope that they take a look at this and look at some of the kind of best in practice models for a meeting schedule or something like Acuity or Calendly that, obviously have a lot of people who use those ones. So I hope they'll take a look at those particular apps and see what they can incorporate into theirs to make this more sophisticated, because I think, this is, having a meeting, having somebody be able to schedule a meeting with you or your team immediately is obviously, that can provide a lot of value. Looks like right now they just got Google Calendar. So if you use iCal or some other calendar, that will not work. Then here you get Testimonials Capture. And so, you can have people submit testimonials. Now, my understanding is this is not fully live on the button thing down here. You'd have to send them this link. You can also have them record a video, which is nice for their testimonial, but it doesn't give you the option to put this down in there. And you may not actually want to. I mean, I'd actually, if I was still running my life coaching business, I'd probably want to send it to people this way anyway. I wouldn't really want to have it down in that part. But I believe they are going to launch this as one of the tools, that is incorporated where the other ones are. So let me show you the tools real quick. There are 12 of these. We've already kind of seen a few of them. Oops. Moving all over the screen today. So you've got live chat. And again, you can set it, visible when you want it. You can change the name. It doesn't have to be live chat. You can call it what you want. You can put it visible always, working hours only, or after hours only. You can set up the title of the panel. Right now it says live chat with us. And this updates live. I like that, so you can, I guess it doesn't actually do it live, but once you save it, you would see it over here right away. You can put a video here. Now, my understanding is these videos are hosted on YouTube or Vimeo. They don't have any other options right now. I wonder, I think maybe something like if they could somehow integrate with Dub or VooPlayer, which have both been on AppSumo, that would be really interesting, very powerful, because those, obviously have some features that YouTube and Vimeo don't have. So, that might be something that they might want to think about. And then, you've got, these things here for the chat. And it'll give you feedback on the chat. Here you build your form. Again, this is different than the meeting. You build your form actually right inside of this right here. So, you can add new fields, etc. And again, you can change the icon. So, put myself, not sure where I want to be today. Hold on. Let's go back. So that was the first one. They've got a contact form again, and this is all very customizable. You can set up the form how you want. Add video, change your introduction text, your button text, your form field. You can send them a confirmation email, etc. Drop myself back down there. You can have a call request. So this would be if you want the client or the person who's on your website to request that you call them back. So, and here you can set up, you say basically we'll call you back within 10 minutes, roughly speaking. So again, you can, a lot of these are very similar, right? I mean, it's got the form, it's got the button, it's got the title. Again, all very customizable. This one is unique. Uniqueness is that it tells you, how long before somebody will call you back. Okay, next tool. Oops, not what I want to do. Okay. Call request, email capture. Again, if you want to get somebody onto your email list, you can again put it right here. And this doesn't have to be a video. I should clarify. It does say add an image. So again, like when I used to run my life coaching business, I had a life purpose guidebook that was very popular. So I could put an image of that guidebook right in there. I mean, it works, a bit like a regular opt-in form for your website. So you could show, hey, this is the free thing that you'll get when you opt into my website. And again, all very customizable, a lot of the same stuff there that we've already seen. So meeting schedule, we've kind of looked at that one already. This is how it looks over here, so you can see it for, how it looks, the person can change their time frame, or their time zone, sorry. You get the days there. And then they can also, if they need to show later times or show earlier times, they can do that. And again, you can change this. It doesn't have to say meeting, right? You can change it right up here. Right here, you can change it. Oops. Actually, I guess with meeting, you change it elsewhere, back on the event type that I showed you earlier. But again, you can change all of this. It's all very customizable. Okay, Lync Launcher. that would direct to another link. It might be a link within your website you want to send people to, or it could be an external link, however you want to set it up. This is the one tool which, as far as I can tell, you can actually have more than one of them over here. Again, you wouldn't want to, I've got all these set up right now so I can demonstrate to you. You wouldn't want to actually have all of these, right? You want to have, maybe 3 to 5. Like for myself, I would use this. I would have the Lync Launcher going to my YouTube page. So, pushing people to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and then probably the one for the opt-in to my email list. Those are the two things that I would use for this. If I were running my life coaching business, I would use maybe the testimonials widget, which we'll look at in a second. Maybe the showcase, showing some videos of talking about my life coaching business. The schedule a meeting. So how which tools you use is really going to depend on what type of business that you're running, and what you want people to, what action you want them to take when they come to your website. Okay, so Lync Launcher. Yeah, again, you can have more than one link. I've already got it, but if I clicked on that again, it would add another one. So if there are other places you want to send people, you can do that. Video showcase, again, you can put videos from YouTube or Vimeo and show those to people. Come over here. Timeline. This is for showing a roadmap of what you're working on. Something you're considering, planned, in progress, completed. Again, you can tweak these how you want. But to let people know these are the things that you're working on. That oops, that does overlap a bit. I can't. Okay, that looks like something I need to work on a little bit, because that does overlap. I can't actually save this here, so I can only cancel it. So that is one thing that, at least on my screen size, doesn't work yet. Is that when I come up to this, it gets overlapped with this. This doesn't close. And all I can do is cancel it. I can change it. I can change the name, but I can't save it. So that, hopefully, they will work on. As I said, they've been very good at being responsive and pushing out fixes and changes. So I expect that to happen soon. Let's see, what else is there? There are a couple more. The customer testimonials. These, it's up to you which ones you want to show. Again, I think this will probably, once they get the feedback form launched, will connect into this. But you could get feedback that you don't want to display. So it's up to you. The one tool is to collect it, the other is to display it. And so it's up to you to decide what testimonials you want to show. You don't have to show all of them. So yeah. It shows there, add testimonial settings, visible, hidden. Let's see, what does this do? Yeah, so that gets back to the testimonial capture that we looked at before. And then the last tool is two more. There's phone contact. Again, this would be if you want to put up your phone number for them to call you. And again, you can do more than one of these. You can do, one phone number for sales, one for service, one, depending on one for, I don't know, your marketing department, however you want to set it up. So you're not limited to just one phone number. So this would be to let people know how to get a hold of you directly. It's different than the call request, where they're requesting that you call them. And then finally, the knowledge library. Again, we looked at that over here, how that works. They've got a knowledge library set up over here. Again, the tool is, a lot of these work very similar, right? They have a lot of the same things incorporated in them. You can set up categories on this and, kind of configure it how you want to. So then we've got, just to show you some other things they've got. Here you've got your analytics dashboard. They've got a few training videos. Hopefully they'll push out some more. But again, it's not that complicated of a tool. I mean, it's one of the nice things. It's a very easy to set up tool. You don't need a lot of knowledge to know how to set this up. It's very simple to use. But here it shows you chats, call requests, context form, email capture, scheduled meetings. Wish this thing would stop popping up. This is from Dub. Here are your active conversations for your chat. Here is your contacts inbox for people who have contacted you various ways. Okay, then here is for managing your users. Now I've just got myself set up as a user, but again, the AppSumo deal comes with, I believe, 15 users, so you can actually set these up as teams. Again, if you want, you might have a sales team, a service team, etc. So you might have different teams. So you can set that up. Okay, now here are proactive messages. Now I did run into a little bug here, which again I hope will get fixed soon, but I can show you how this works. So you give it a name. You tell it what page you want to display on. You can add an image or add a video. Introduction text. You can link to a specific tool. That's the one that doesn't seem to be working properly. And then you can show it visible to all visitors, new visitors, repeat visitors. You can when to show it and then when to pop up. This is the proactive message here. If you don't have this set up, then it's just the button, okay? But if you set up the proactive message, there's the proactive message. Now, for some reason, when I click on this, okay, actually that time it worked before I was getting an error message. Now it worked. Now it's going to make me look bad. Okay, so come back down over here and let me see if this works, because it says you can link to one of your engagement tools directly in the proactive panel. That was not working for me before. So let's say in the proactive panel that I wanted to have live chat. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything there. It's not showing up, and this is actually maybe where I get them. Yeah, now when I click on that, when I add one of the tools and then click on that, I get this page isn't working. So there does seem to be a bit of a bug there, which I hope they will work on. Now so this is one thing that I do think needs to be worked on a bit, is that there doesn't seem to be a lot of ability to target people at this point. I know Drew said that they're working on UTM tagging or UTM targeting, which will be, a really nice feature. But, you can either add the full URL of the page to display this or leave it blank to show on all pages. So the only targeting, which is based on all new or repeat visitors, is if you're using this proactive pop-up message. If you're not using that, then there's no targeting. And so, I may want to have a different message on my contact page than on my home page. And I may want a different one on my blog page than on my about page, right? But there's not a lot of ability to make this different based on what page it's displaying on your website, unless you're using this, right? If you don't want to use this, then I haven't seen any way to do any targeting. So I hope that is something they're working on. And also targeting based on how people reach your website might be something of value. If they're coming from, clicking on a link from MailChimp, that person is already on your email list. You might want to display something different to them than somebody who comes to you from a Google search, right? That's a different person. They have different levels of knowledge about your business. I also, again, I mentioned this on my original video. If I want to put this, let's just say the only place I want to display it is on my blog pages, in my blog posts, I'd have to input every single blog post individually. Now, fortunately, I don't have a lot at this point. I've got about 4, but some businesses have hundreds. And so it's kind of an all or nothing, right? You either put in, you can put in a few individual pages, but if you've got a lot of pages and you want to do some really individualization on what's on each page, that might be a lot of work. So I hope that they do come up with a way to simplify this and make it easier to do some targeting based on page. Then let me see here. There's also, the final thing I want to show you were the integrations. Now, at this point, the integration is via Zapier, which is fine. I mean, Zapier works, but, right now they don't have any kind of native integration. So you can't integrate directly between BirdSeed and say MailChimp or ActiveCampaign or Drip or your webinar system. You've got to do it via Zapier, which, Drew and I had a little back and forth on this. I mean, you can get up to 5, a lot of Zaps are free and you can get up to 5 of them free, but after that you have to pay, and not all of them are free. And you may already be using Zaps for other things. So even though the tool is free, this could, depending on how you use it, there could be some cost involved. So I do think you need to be aware of that. I do know that, again, based on what Drew told me, and this makes sense, obviously they will build out some integrations based on what people request, based on what's most popular. So, you won't always be tied to Zapier, but at least for the moment you are. So that is my video. Oh, I did want to show you the pricing again, so you can see that so for, again, this may actually work out well. Like for me, I'm a solopreneur, right? So this free forever works pretty good for me, right? I mean, I get all the 12 engagement tools. I get one account user myself, unlimited website traffic, proactive video text, pop-up messages, the integration with via Zapier, and this. So that's really good for me, right? If you're a bigger team, it's $39 a month for 5 users or $99 a month for 15 users. This is basically what you're getting from the AppSumo plan. So you're getting, even when it moves to the paid after the 1 year free, you're paying $99 a year, whereas a regular price is $99 a month. And so it's a great discount. Again, for me, if I were a bigger team, and if you're a large enough business that you've got 15 users, then I think you can afford $99 a year for a tool like this. So, if you've got any questions, feel free to ask. I know Drew has been very active in the chat on my other videos, so I expect that will continue. So again, if you've got questions, he knows a little bit more about the tool than I do. Again, it's a no-brainer in my opinion. Sign up for it, right? You get a year free, test it out, see where it develops from here in the coming year. And I will put my affiliate link. I mean, again, you're not paying for anything for it at this point. So, but if you want to sign up for this, I'll put the link in the video description. You can just go right to the AppSumo page and quote unquote buy it. And again, subscribe to my videos, right? This is